Good morning, happy Friday. So, again, sorry, another impromptu live. I find it's easier for me to get them in if I don't tell anyone and I just do it when I've got a minute. So I'll always save them, you can always catch up. If you're on Facebook and you are joining me, brilliant. Today we're going to run through a couple of exercises that will help you to achieve plank. So I know full plank for a lot of people can end up being a shoulder exercise, it can end up being lower back exercise. You can end up using every muscle apart from your core muscles. So I wanted to show you a few ways to either modify it completely and do other versions of a similar theme that get you the same result. But also I want to show you a way to build up to plank so that you are absolutely sure you're doing it right. So let's come down first of all onto the mat, and I'm going to show you just a couple of exercises here that just help to build up a little bit of awareness and get you sort of starting on the right lines. So 4-point kneeling replicates plank because of the gravity issue. So when you're like this, if your abdominals aren't on, then we're relaxed and we're collapsing. And this can happen in plank. And it can mean that your shoulder blades come together, your lower back bears all the brunt, your bottom goes really high, and you don't end up using your tummy at all. So practicing here is a good place to start because building up core strength against gravity is also a really safe way to build this, this core support system. So pause here. All we're doing here is we're just going to slide a leg back. Now when you slide that leg back, try not to shift here. You want to still keep square. Don't let that pelvis open. And then you can, if you want to, take the opposite arm forwards, but you don't have to. You can just do the leg if you prefer. Now the image here is that you want to imagine you're on a surfboard or a paddleboard or something, but you don't want to create movement or ripples because you don't want to fall and you don't want to create ripples in the water. So all we're doing to begin with is we're lifting the tummy up to the spine. We're not moving the body yet. We're going to keep that tummy pulling up. We're going to find pelvic floor, soften our ribs, and then we lift the arm and the leg and we float them up. So our focus, take them back down again, is on what's happening in the centre, not the fling of the arm and the leg, which is where you see this kind of movement, okay? We want to keep this totally still. And we just, it's like the arm and the leg float up as a bit of a consequence, but the effort, the initiation is in the centre. Let's just do one more like this, and then you would swap sides and do the same on the other side. And you could do maybe 5 or 6 here. So strong tummy, lift the belly, pull the pelvic floor up, soften those ribs. Don't be hanging out in the rib cage. That's the other thing I see. If you're looking forwards, you know that you're dropped here. So get those ribs in, look down. And we lift and lower. Let's go for 5. Strong tummy. So soft through the arm and the leg, but lifting and tightening and engaging through that belly. Really scoop it up. Let's do 2 more. Can we get both shoulders to pull back? And last one, and relax down. Now what you'll find with plank is if you're wobbly and you feel like all of your effort is being taken on just stabilising, just staying upright, you're not using your centre enough. You've got to think of your Superman exercise as being a core exercise, not an upper body exercise, not up in your shoulders. This will make you really unstable. If you pull down and you get those armpits to switch on, you'll have much more support. Coming down onto your tummy. So this is my favourite sort of substitute for plank, if you like. It's called Sphinx. You're going to draw your shoulders back. Now, don't worry too much about your upper body position here. You don't want to be collapsed forwards, but equally, you don't want to be looking up. So just a nice, comfortable shape. You're going to draw your shoulders down though, so your armpits pull down to your waist. And then from here, we're going to take a rounding of the spine, like we're trying to send this tailbone backwards. Okay, so the tail starts to lengthen away. As a consequence, you'll find the hip bones start to pull towards the ribs. So you start to shorten across the front of the body and lengthen across the back body. And then you will find yourself in this little hover position because everything has pulled and shifted, and that's taken you off the floor, and then release back down again. So what you've done differently is that you've no longer pushed up. You've focused more on rounding rather than lifting. That's what we want. So shoulders away from ears. Take a moment. When you're ready, we're going to send the tail to the back of the room. Think of the hip bones pulling up towards your sternum. Think of pulling your belly up to your spine, tucking your tail under. Let the head go so you look more towards your elbows, and just hold here. Can you just check that your shoulders are away from your ears and that you're focusing on that tuck? And every breath you take, you refocus, you tuck more. You don't lift more, you tuck more. And then you release back down. And the way to know, generally speaking, if Sphinx is working is the tremor. If you get the shake, the tremor of truth, is this really working? Let's do one more. And this would be how we would build up into plank. So this is a really good compromise for plank. It's very, very lower abdominal targeted. It's great for abdominals. It's good for shoulder strengthening and just overall body awareness. But if you wanted to take this more into a first step of plank on your knees, you could just hold that tuck, but just lift the bottom a little bit. And you'll find yourself in this kind of plank, knee plank position, which is a gentler, lighter version of plank. So shoulders are back, you're still tucking, but you've lifted the bottom a little bit more. Don't lose the tuck, because the moment you do, the bottom sticks out and the lower back sinks, okay? So keep the tuck as your priority, and then rest back down. Okay, so that's a great option. If you'd rather and you want to take it into your full plank, then we would take it into it that way. So find your Sphinx first. You draw the tummy in, and you don't have to do this all the time if you're really au fait with plank and you're really comfortable with it, but it's a great place to find those connections. Shoulders draw back, tuck more, tuck more, tuck more. Then lift to your knees. Hold here, tuck the toes under if you want to take it into full plank. Keep the tuck, focus on the belly, not the legs, and reach the heels away. Hold it here, shoulders back. Press the ground away, keep tucking, keep reaching the heels. 3, 2, 1, and take it back down. Relax there and take a moment. So I hope that's useful. A couple of little alternatives for plank. Couple of ways to make sure that you're using the abdominals efficiently and not overusing the upper body. So do that as a sequence. Try it on your own. Try Superman on both sides, Sphinx 2 or 3, holding each time 2 or 3 breaths, plank on knees, and then full plank, and see how you go. Let me know in the comments. And if you've got any questions, by all means pop them in the comments and I will answer them as soon as I can. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you've made it. There are some people watching, so it's nice to see you. I will see you again soon, so take lots of care. Have a lovely rest of your Friday, and thanks for joining. Bye.